Hello, I'm Jay from Volunteer Audio. I'm making a little short video covering wire management on those 2015 to 2023 Harley-Davidson Road Glides. We've got a full step-by-step video series on how to do an install on these bikes, but in that video series we use the factory radio. I'm doing it today with a V2 radio that adds some additional harnessing, a Maestro unit, some more parts. I want to show you how to make sure this is good and weatherproof so we don't have trouble, but also how to route and secure all this wiring up. And we'll just include this in as an option in our step-by-step video series. So if you have a V2 radio and a Hertz 4.900 amplifier, or any amp for that matter with our plug-and-play harnessing, this is going to be a very important video to watch. All right, so again, we have a full step-by-step video series at volunteeraudio.com. Just go to the top of the page and click the menu button and then select step-by-step install videos. Select the 2015 to 23 Road Glide and watch to the point that we're at now. We've already bolted in our radio, but we haven't done any wiring on it. I want to show you how to get the USB in and so forth. But I also want to show you how to weatherproof that Maestro, where to mount it, how to do that, and then we'll tidy up this wiring. Now, we've already ran power and ground for the amp up the backbone, under the gas tank. We've reassembled that. All of those things are covered in that step-by-step video series. So if you haven't went there yet and you don't know how to get to this point, you'll want to watch those first. But now let's get to our bike and let's start on with this process. Now, in our V2 radio box was included a harness. And when you buy your radio from Volunteer Audio, we've already fully updated this radio. We've also programmed this i-Data-Link Maestro box and we've plugged it in for you. This has to plug in directly to the back of the radio. If you plug your amp harness into the back of the radio and you plug this elsewhere or leave it out, the radio is not going to work correctly. So we want to make sure that the harness that was in the radio box is plugged into the radio. So I'm going to start by plugging that in here. It does have this little lever. Once you go to push it in, rotate this around, and it will lock in place like so. All right, so we wanted to make sure we got that in. Now, the other thing, the radio's fully IPX marine rated. It is waterproof. You don't have to worry about getting caught in the rain, washing your bike, but we would never, ever want to pressure wash a radio, factory or otherwise, because even though it's gasketed and it's sealed, several thousand PSI is going to blow through those gaskets. It's going to damage your radio as well. We don't want that. All right, so the i-Data-Link Maestro box is not fully sealed. So this is not like the radio where it's IPX Marine. It does have a conformal coated circuit board, but because this same box is used in cars, trucks, and other installs, they do not make it fully weatherproof. They do offer a big plastic box it can go in that seals it up, but it's so big it doesn't fit in the fairing of the motorcycles. So I'm going to cover with you how to make this more weatherproof and how it's not going to cause you any future problems. This particular box, this is very, very important. This is going to allow your ECM to talk to your radio. It's going to give you the advanced hand controls. It turns the radio on. It also makes the gauges work. So if water gets in here, it's going to make it act up. Maybe the radio doesn't turn on. Maybe hand controls don't work right until it dries out. And I've got a few steps, things that we do that make sure we don't have that problem. I want to share those with you because we don't want you to have problems in the future as well. The first thing is I'm going to take some dielectric grease. You can buy this at your AutoZones, Advance, Ace Hardwares, those kind of places. A lot of times this is used on a tune-up or on a headlight bulb or on different electrical connectors in a car. It's pretty much the same thing we're doing here. We're going to be putting this grease in each one of these connections on the end. And what this does is grease makes water want to run away. So any water that runs down our harnessing as it hits this grease is going to be rejected and pushed back. We're just going to fill up every one of these little plugs with it. It's not going to hurt anything putting this in the empty holes as well as the holes we're using. I did unplug a connector to make sure that I could get grease in behind it. And once I'm going to plug that one back in. This will not be conductive. It's not going to short things out, but it is going to make our unit not get water in place if water were to run down these trying to go inside. On the other side, we're going to unplug the connectors there. There's a black, a green, and another black. The green, red, and blue ports are unused. This black can plug in any of these. Make sure it's back in the color-coded port when you're done. We're going to unplug those now. And you notice we don't have this actually plugged into the bike, so there's no power going to it yet. We definitely want to make sure it's disconnected before we unplug and replug these little connectors in. So this is going to stop any future corrosion, and it's going to give us years and years of use without any problem from water. So plugging in these connectors back where they went, the black connector on the end, the green one into the green hole here, making sure they click, and then our black one into that middle port. Now I'm being careful not to get this all over my hands because dielectric grease can be a little messy. The next thing we're going to do though is we're going to take a Ziploc bag. All right, so we're going to take a regular like sandwich sized Ziploc bag. We're not going to be zipping this back closed, but I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm just going to cut the top off of this bag. And essentially all we're doing is we're using this to go over our module, but we're not going to try to seal it. So we're going to stick our module into this bag. And then once we mount it, this is also shielding water from getting onto it. And this is going to be mounted right up in here, and we'll put a couple zip ties around it. I'll show you that here in a minute. So I'm going to grab some zip ties. We'll start getting this into place. We'll start plugging the other harnesses in where they go, and I'll start showing you how to manage this where we don't have any problem getting our speaker pods back on or our headlight out. We're back in as well. All right, so now I've just got a handful of zip ties and a zip tie cutter because we're always going to flush cut our zip ties. And I'm going to start getting my zip ties in place to secure this where I want it to go. Now up here, there is this metal plate that goes between the radio and the speaker pod. Now the speaker pod bolts right here, so we don't want to interfere with those bolt holes. And I'm going to take this, and what I like to do is I'll unplug this connector. Unplugging it is going to give me a free path right up into here to put my module underneath here. If you'll put it here and zip tie it kind of loosely, and we're going to do it a little loosely because we want it to hold it up, but we don't want to be in the way of the speaker pod. So I'm just going to feed a zip tie through this hole that's marked A, coming around this unit. Get my zip tie down here. Now I've got two zip ties together, so I've got plenty of length. We'll end up trimming those down. Pulling it around here, tightening this up. Again, we're leaving the bag on it. The bag is not sealed because we don't want anything to overheat. Just like so. It doesn't have to be super tight. We don't want it so tight that it won't move around a little bit because we don't want to interfere with that speaker pod. But again, it's just wrapping and holding it up here in place till we get everything back in position. So I'm just going to trim here and trim here. All right, so let's look at the rest of our harnessing. As I ran our power and our backbone harness into the fairing, I came up through this hole from the gas tank side, and then I ran my wiring through this open passage over here to the side. You'll notice there's some open triangles on each side wiring can run through. The reason I did that, when our headlight goes in, it goes into this area. We don't want any wiring in here that doesn't have to be, because if we have wiring there, it's going to get in the way of that headlight going in and out, and it's going to risk us getting something in the way, shorting it out, pinching it. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to continue to move as much wiring as I can, though, as we do our install, into this void between the vent under the radio and between the vent on the other side, but not out where the actual headlight rests. And if you notice, all the factory wiring runs around the top here. None of it runs there for that same purpose because we don't want to interfere with that headlight. So we do have these connectors. This was our original radio plug, the connectors that were bolted to the back of the headlight. We are going to reposition those as well. And normally what I want to do is I'm going to pull them over here to the side, and I'm going to plug them in to that radio harness. And we're going to try to get them up into this area up here at the top. But we still have this part. This is our amp connector. This is what's going to make our amp connect up in between the radio and the original harness. So grab my stool, come over here, and we'll show you how this is all going to get set up. All right, so I'm going to take our amp harness with this lead here, and I'm going to plug this into the original radio harness, like so. Rotating this around, making sure it locks in place. The next part that plugs in is going to be the other side of this is going to plug into our Maestro/radio harness here. Now sometimes you'll have to spin things around, make sure you get, and you might even have to re-unplug it. There we go, we're locked in there. Unplug some of these other connectors just to get it routed where you want it so it doesn't interfere. Like this connector here has to plug back into our speaker pod. So I'm going to bring this up into this area, and I've got the speaker pod off on purpose because I want you to see what we're doing. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll actually position some of these wires back in behind the headlight. So I will push some of these back through this triangle. These are not used for any accessories we're doing. We don't have a WIM now. We're not using the factory backbone connector. So if I can fish these back in behind the headlight through this hole, it just freezes up some room for wiring that we don't have to worry about. So getting those plugs out of the way. as I do that, I can pull more of this toward behind the headlight. Behind the headlight's not going to be a problem. We don't want to be between the headlight and its mounting brackets. So now that I've got that fished to that point, you'll see that my radio plug is all the way back here behind my gauges now. It's not interfering with my vent. It's not interfering where my speaker pod goes. And I'm going to make sure that this wiring is up top. This is what's going to feed across to the other side. We want to make sure that we still have room for that. And we want to look at this connector as well. This is our amp turn-on plug. It's going to have to plug into this plug right off of our amplifier. So I'm going to make sure and plug those in so I don't forget to do it later and I don't lose it in the confusion here of all these wires. We'll later reconnect our USB and I'll route that, but I want to get this in place first. So this plug, which is what we unplugged earlier, I'm going to plug it back into place in here. Making sure I keep my speaker plug here where it's accessible. Now all I have to do is position this in behind here as well, like so. And I'll put some zip ties around these plugs, around the original wiring, and make sure that they stay between the speaker pod and the radio. Let me grab some zip ties and start that process. This part looks difficult. It's really not. It's all about just management of the wiring, getting it where you have an open void and there's nothing in the way. And as you've seen, I went ahead and put the Maestro in first to allow you to see where it would go with or without an amp. But it's a little bit hindering your view, but it's definitely not going to be a problem though, having it there first. So I'm going to wrap a zip tie around this plug that I put in there earlier. All I'm doing is as I pull this around now, I'll use this zip tie to hold them in place. All right, so that zip tie's holding that where it goes now. This is zip tied as well. Now, we're going to take all of this harnessing that came from that, and we're going to start bringing it across the top here. Now, some of this wiring is unrelated. These are USBs and parts that are going to go elsewhere in the bike later. And I'll go ahead and plug in a few of these other components. Let's plug in our FM antenna as we go into the antenna slot. Let's go and plug this USB back in. And my GPS antenna is still on my speaker pod, so I'll plug it in as I go in with that. But let's work our way across the top of here, securing some of this wiring with the factory wiring. Make sure my headlight wire is not still in here because we want to plug our headlight in later. We're just following that factory wiring right across the top above where the headlight goes. All right, so at this point I want to plug in our power and ground from our battery. Always see a little spark when it plugs in. The weather tight connectors take a little bit of force to press in until they lock. All right, so we do have some additional plugs here we need to talk about. This is our rear speaker connector. It's called a backbone. You'll see it has 2 purple wires, 2 green wires. This is on the output of the amp. Volunteer Audio adds this to our plug-and-play amp wiring, and it is a larger gauge wiring than what's on the factory one. The factory backbone connector I just stuffed in behind the headlight earlier. We're not going to use it because we want one that is actually a larger gauge. This is the wiring I'd ran from the back. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in so we don't forget. So now that is routing that rear speaker wire to under the seat where our lid speakers are going to connect up later. If you see any plugs that say do not use, that's what they are. Do not use them. They're not used in your install, so we've marked them. Don't plug anything into that. Now, you're going to see that we have some RCA connectors and some other plugs here. Just like the other side, we're going to unplug the factory harness, bring it out and around the harnessing that we're routing to this direction. And we're going to plug it back in. And be mindful of the connectors that go to the speaker pod. So here's the one for this side. That's the one for the other side. I'm looking at that as I go, making sure it's still there, so when I put my speaker back on, we can plug it in. So this wiring, we're just continuing to move to this direction because we have another large void on this side of this vent. And this is a great place for us to put any excess wiring. And as we put that excess wiring to this side, we can go ahead and do similar to what we did on the other side and start zip tying it to this little plate. So I'll drop a zip tie down. I'll go around some of this wiring And I'll make sure that I come back up here and secure it in place. So what we're wanting to do is we're just making sure all of our wiring has a home, that it's not in the way of any future service work, and then we're going to secure it up to where it's not just rubbing around into something, because if our wiring is secure and it's not vibrating around, there's less likelihood of ever having a short or something fail. Now, it's all pre-assembled by Volunteer Audio. All of our RCAs are heat shrunk. It's all weatherproof. We're not worried about water on any of this. We just want to make sure that we put it in a position where it's not in the way, because if you go somewhere and you have maybe a headlight replaced somewhere else, you don't want them to get your wiring also pinched or stuck and cause you to have a short. All right, so let's just start cutting some of these zip ties as we come around through here. Pretty much that simple. Now let's move on to some of the other parts we have to do. This being a V2 radio, it does have a new USB that has to be routed into this pocket. So we're using the factory USB. We're also using this new one. This is a charge-only USB. It doesn't transfer data, but some of your new phones have a USB-C on them, and they're a high current charge that factory cable doesn't support, so they added this for us. So normally I'm going to take this across the back. I'm going to come right down in here and pull this out with this other wiring. This is your shortest path. They didn't give you a bunch of extra wiring on purpose. We don't want the USB too long, so we're going to be bringing it down through here, up over this pod, up toward the front, and then it's going to come right down here into this front pod. So let's push this grommet through, and I'll show you how it goes in. All right, so the factory grommet, I did pull the little Christmas tree retainer out of here to make it where it'll flex. We're just going to push it into that pocket. Now you're going to see that there is a slit with a place for that wire right on this grommet that comes with our new USB. So I'll start feeding this USB into the hole. It's marked as charging on it, so you know it's charge only. And this grommet is actually put on reverse from the other grommet. As you see, the other one came from inside the pocket. This one's meant to be installed from out here. So I'm just going to press it into the factory USB down into this new grommet. Once I get it all the way in where it's supposed to go, now all I have to do is push this down into here. Now, I will take a zip tie and go through this hole and secure that as well. Instead of using a Christmas tree style retainer here, we're just going to zip tie through that same hole. So push it down where it goes and then secure this like so. Now, other than that, the only thing we have left to plug in would have been that original GPS antenna. Once we put our speaker pod back on, make sure that you plug that back in. Now you should be able to continue on with the rest of your install on our step-by-step series. You're going to see your pods are going to go right back on and clear, and then you're going to see that your headlight will go right back in, because as you see, nothing is in the way of where the headlight goes now. So the headlight will bolt directly back in just like it did from the factory. I hope this helped you. I hope that it encouraged you maybe to take the steps of doing this, because as you've seen, none of this was difficult. Maybe a little time consuming, just a few minutes, putting wires where they go. They're all a specific length to give plenty of room to clear that headlight. So I know you look at it and you go, where does all of this go? Well, that same harness is going to fit it with or without a factory radio. So the Soundstream Reserve V2 is the best radio you can put in your bike. It's well worth those few minutes to add that additional harnessing to make it look right. And also, I know you want to know the job's done correctly. So thank you for watching and taking the time to do it the right way. Continue on with this series. I hope it helped you a ton adding this video in. And if you have any questions, don't forget, when you buy from Volunteer Audio with your lifetime tech support, you can also call us at 1-844-30-AUDIO. We're here, technicians that have done this and do this daily to help answer those questions for you and help you along the way. If you haven't bought a system yet, reach out to us at 1-844-30-AUDIO. Our sales team will happily go over those options and pricing with you and make sure that you get the right equipment the first time. Volunteer Audio want to make sure you never get stuck with the wrong equipment. So we're going to put together plug-and-play packages that are perfectly matched together. We also don't want you to get stuck with equipment that doesn't work. Everything here is going to be tested, updated, programmed to make it as easy and plug-and-play as possible. But even years down the road, this radio particularly has a 5-year warranty. The Hertz amp we're using is 3. If you ever have a warranty issue, you come back directly to Volunteer Audio. We're going to make sure that we take care of you so you're never stuck with anything that's failed within that warranty period. Also, we want to make sure you don't get stuck on installs. We make great install videos like this to help you out and give you that free lifetime tech support. Thank you so much for watching. Continue on in the series. And as always, God bless.